We move to another part of speech, another grammatical function that is called the subordinate conjunction. It is set into two parts, subordinate and coordinate conjunction. Those are referred to the part of speech what is called a linking word. A linking word is a word that links between a word and another, okay, or a sent clause and another. I mean, like it connects two clauses. Sometimes they are complex. Such sentences have two clauses, one main or independence and one subordinate, means dependence. The essential ingredient in a complex sentence is the subordinate conjunction. هما اللي عندنا في الطابلو هذا. عندي مثلا after, although, as, because, before, even if, even though, et ainsi de suite. الله يرضي عليكم حاولوا تركزوا في هاد لي مو تكنيك اللي ما فهمهمش حاول يشرحهم ça marche. مثلا الا خديت although c'est-à-dire même si, malgré, ونقدر نستعمل although, even though dans le même sens. This subordinate conjunction has two jobs. First, it provides a necessary transition, okay? It provides a necessary transition between the two ideas in the sentence. And this transition will indicate time, place, or cause and effect relationship. Here are some examples. Alors, chaque transition or chaque idea كتكون فيها واحد الكوز والإفكت. ça marche وكذاك الشيء علاش كنستعملو حنا linking word. مثلا Louisa will wash the sink full of her dirty dishes. Once her roommate Shane cleans his stubble and globes of shaving cream from the bathroom sink. مثلا عندي un autre exemple. Because her teeth were chattering in fear, trembling. Linda clenched her jaw muscle while waiting for her turn to audition. Donc, the second job of this subordinate conjunction is to reduce the importance of one clause. Ça marche. Donc هنا كتعطي واحد التناغم في الفكرة. نعطي واحد d'autres exemples. هنا more idea belongs to the main clause means the less importance in the clause introduced by the subordinate conjunction, by the way. For example, as Samson blew out the birthday candles atop the cake, he burned the tip of his nose on a stubborn flame. So, burning his nose, blowing out candles, mean, okay? We move now to the coordinate conjunctions. So, subordinate conjunctions هما هادو كي كتشوفوهم. ça marche. حاولوا تركزوا عليهم وحاولوا تستافدوا منهم. Je passe le coordinate conjunction. Okay, a coordinate conjunction هما واحد لي term اللي كنستعملوهم وهما 7 عندي 7 and, but, or, so, yet, for, nor. نقولوا على واحد لو term acronym fanboys. F كتعني for, A كتعني and, et ainsi de suite. Each coordinating conjunction expresses a specific meaning. مثلا إلا خديت l'exemple ديال and c'est pour ajouter une information. Diabetes is a serious disease and it is becoming more common. And means adding another information. So smoking has been linked to health problems. But هنا but كتعطيني contrast, it contradicts. It offers a contract, introduces something unexpected. مثلا خدينا yet l'exemple 3. Boris works 10 hours a day, yet he has time to volunteer at a homeless shelter. Yet expresses a strong contrast than but. Yet كتكون هذه عندها واحد الكونتراست فور. اوكي واحد contradiction. Donc yet and but là sont pareils. غير but كتكون yet plutôt كتكون un peu fort. نمشيو le point 4. The professor may give a student a take home exam or he will, c'est-à-dire or, c'est-à-dire un choix, or هادي ولا هادي. Donc or means another choice. Donc نمشيو للبوان 5 اللي هي 4. The car that the police seized at the crime scene had been sold in auction. في المزاد كما كنقولوا sold in an auction for no reason. يعني for c'est-à-dire because, parce que. Je passe le 6e terme. The president did not come because of illness. So c'est-à-dire résultat. As a result. Résultat de. So someone else gave the achievement awards on her behalf. Donc someone else giving the awards is the result of the president's illness. Donc كاين هنا cause و effects. لحقاش هو مريض ما جاش. نمشيو لو dernier point اللي هو nor. The discussion was not exciting, nor was it informative, nor removes an alternative. It tells what something is not. Ça marche? Alors, when using coordinate conjunctions, remember الله يرضي عليكم, avoid overuse. Okay? And overusing the conjunction and. Make sure you choose the conjunction that communicates what you want to express. Go. Example, use so to express as a result. ناخدو له tableau. Instead of always using and, مثلا, the orange farmers wanted to get a pizza, better yield, and they used fertilizers. The orange farmers wanted to get a better yield. Okay, so they used fertilizer. So نمشيو للطابلو اللي من بعد. Do not عندك do not start a sentence with the coordinates. ما تبداش une phrase بهاد لي ترم هادو. Instead use a related transition word. Ça marche. مثلا كنقول in addition, but كنسمي however, or otherwise. So as a result هادو au lieu de mettre هاد لي ترم في الاول لا فراز يمكن لي نستعمل also, in addition. Ça marche. كنتمنى تكونوا متبعين معايا. غادي نمشيو لا بارتي 3 اللي فيها l'exercice. دونك هاد l'exercice باردون لا voilà. Alors l'exercice عندنا هنايا some exercises. مثلا number 1, we can go out for dinner now. So نختاروا A ou bien B ou bien C. Alors, is it the answer A, or is it the answer B yet? Is it the answer C but? هنا عندي un choix. We can go out for dinner now or later. Donc هنا l'information كاين فيها un choix. الله يرضي عليكم الطلبة باش يمكن لكم تستافدوا وتفهموا وتعرفوا. مثلا le point مثلا 2. John can't speak Japanese. He can't speak Spanish. نقول so ولا nor ولا but. John can't speak Japanese but he can speak Spanish. عندي هنايا a contrast. ما يقدرش يتكلم بجابونية اوكي بالجابانيز ولكن هنا يمكن يضرب الاسبانيول اوكي سو فوالا هادو هما لا بارتي البارتس ديال الجرامر في اللينكين ووردز غادي نمشي نمر اللينكين ووردز دوطخ لينكين ووردز خليكم معايا الله يرضي عليكم فوالا لينكين ووردز alors اسمحوا لي دونك فوكس هنا امشي لا بارتي ديال عندي هنا sequence or list chronology similarity difference cause effect example غادي نحاولوا نزيدوا sequence or lists. Alors, what are the benefits? They can indicate processes or separate pieces of information. Useful if your paragraph is a collection of items which all support the topic sentence but don't relate to each other. مثلا عندي examples firstly, secondly, et là pour commencer. Moreover, furthermore, next, last, to summarize. I'm sure chronology via time, okay? Alors, clearly shows the order of events, especially useful information or events or ideas, time sensitive or the results of relevant action or events. Before, during, after, since, while working on the projects in 1927, they are examples, okay, of chronology, of times, to begin with, next, once, till. هادو كنستعملو فيهم بحال فيهم لو طون. اوكي؟ alors كاين واحد الاوردر لوردر ديال لي زيفينمون. So, part 3, which is similarity, and similarity using these words shows that you understand how information supports or contradicts each other. مثلا في similarity فاش كتكومباري فراز مع فراز كتكون فيها واحد المجال ديال المقارنه وكتكومباري كنقولوا and similarity similarly also to likewise et ainsi de suite هادو sont pareils هادو دي سينونيم كنقول also كنقول to كنقول similarly فاش كنمشي لو بوين ديال differences كنستعمل however يعني هنا فيها contradiction however مثلا كنقول I want to go to the party however I'm sick nevertheless nonetheless even though although still هادو كاع des mots techniques linking words okay that they support information or contradicts each other cause and effects alors cause alors فاش كتكون using these words they show the reader clearly that one is the result of another يعني وحده نتيجه الاخرى as a result because of if because for since to cause but an effect اللي هو النتيجه كنقولوا so as a result as a consequence therefore هادو دي مو تكنيك اللي كيبينوا effects résultat de نتيجه واحد الكوز example عندي this is a useful way to introduce supporting example كنقولوا for example si je voulais donner يعني des exemples كنقول for instance namely that is such as including et ainsi de suite شباب je passe excusez-moi la partie exercice ok مثلا خديت هذا الترم he tried to play until the end of the match he had injured his knee alors شوف la phrase عندي هنايا contradiction he tried il a essayé de jouer ok jusqu'à la fin du match اوكي he had injured. اوكي الوغ هنا لا جونو ديالو تجرحات. دونك شوف عندي هنا although malgré même si. alors شنو نقولوا واش although he tried to play until the end of the match he had injured his knee ولا although he had injured his knee he tried to play. هنا خصنا نستعملوا although he had injured. فوالا هنا كنقولوا même si جرح يعني الركبه ديالو حاول يكمل الماتش حتى لافان. فهمتي لو سونس هو هذا. كنت كي حاول الله يرضي عليك تقرا لا فراز مزيان تفهم لا فراز. try to concentrate focus. خوي راسك ما تشوف هذا ما تشوف هذا. شوف الورقه ديالك في لا طابل. توكل على الله بشويه عليك وقرا القران في الاول باش النفس ديالك كتهدم. Number 2 قلنا مثلا instead of or you do she didn't offer chocolate to her friends she ate them all herself. فوالا ما ذوقاتش صحابها كلات الشكلاط كامل. alors she didn't offer شنو نقولوا instead of offering chocolate to her friends she ate them all herself. فوالا كنتمنى لكم حد سعيد ان شاء الله. bon courage and break a leg. je passe maintenant les relative clauses. alors c'est important and the relative clauses okay عندنا واحد دو type. there are two types of relative clauses. defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. alors نبداو ب defining relative clauses اللي هما c'est-à-dire those relative clauses describe the preceding noun in such a way to distinguish it from other nouns or the same clause. A clause of this kind is essential to clear understanding of the noun. The boy who was playing is my brother. The boy playing the soccer is my brother. The boy who was playing is my brother. Define relative pronouns هما عندي مثلا في subjects يعني pour la personne people كنستعمل who that هذه في subjects. في objects كنستعمل whom who that. في possessive alors possessive whose يعني الملكية possession. alors pour les objets for things كنستعملوا thing which or that ما كنستعملوش who or that. والبيرسون ما كنعملوش which ولا that. دونك ما تقلبوش وما تخلبقوش. for people objects and the for things objects and the which that pareil. في possessive يمكن نستعملوا whose of which. ça marche. غادي نمشيو مثلا relative clause people who or that. اسمعوا who is normally used كنستعملوا who. مثلا تنقول the man who robbed you has been arrested or the girls who serve in the shop are the owner's daughter. But that is a possible alternative after all. Everyone, everybody, nobody, no and those. مثلا كنقول everyone who knew him like him. Nobody who watched the match will ever forget it. Nobody that watched. هذه يمكن نستعمل who or that. Objects of verb كنقول whom, who, that. Alors the object form is whom, but it is considered very formal. In spoken English we normally use who or that. Ça marche. That being more usual than who. And it is still more common to omit the object pronoun altogether. Okay? مثلا تنقول the man whom I saw. The man whom I saw told me to come back yesterday or today. The man who I saw told me to come back. The man that. The man I saw pareil, كل شيء pareil. Donc c'est with a preposition. Alors في preposition هنايا عندي in formal English the preposition is placed before a relative pronoun which must then be put into the form whom. The man to whom I spoke. To whom I spoke. Preposition is placed before قبل relative clause. In informal speech, however, it is more usual to move the preposition to the end of the clause. مثلا, whom then is often replaced by that, but it is still more common to omit the relative. يعني to omit c'est-à-dire to حذف, okay? To drop, to omit the relative altogether. The man who I spoke to, the man whom I spoke to. Pareil. The man that I spoke to, صحيحة. The man I spoke to, صحيحة. Ça marche. Possessive. Alors هنا كتحس واحد الملكية في la phrase. Whose is the only possible form. People whose rents have been raised can appeal. The people whose rents, okay, have been raised can appeal. The film is about a spy whose wife betrays him. The film is about ما كنقولوش who wife ولا that wife, whose wife لأن كالملكية. Okay? Short answers. To make short answers الله يرضي عليكم. Bon, هاد لابارتي ماشي مشكل. نمشيو defining relative clauses. Things. هنا subjects. Either which or that, which is more formal. This is the picture which that caused such a sensation. This is the picture that or which caused such a sensation. Okay? Give me a second, please. Object of a verb, which or that or no relative at all. The car which that I hired broke down. The car I hired broke down. Which is hardly ever used after all. Everything, little, much, none, no, and compound of no, or after superlative, okay? Instead, we use that or omit the relative altogether. Ça marche? مثلا, all the apples that fall are eaten by the pigs. All the apples that fall are. This is the best hotel that I know. Ça marche? نمشيو دابا لو سي objects of preposition. The formal construction is preposition which مثلا هنا خدينا لو كا ديال object of a preposition. مثلا قلنا the ladder on which I was standing began to slip. Okay? ولا the ladder which or that I was standing on began to slip. The ladder I was سلم, okay, the ladder I was standing on began to slip. Possessive, whose plus a clause is possible, but with a phrase plus, but with, okay, plus a phrase is more usual. شوفوا هنا هذا phrase. A house whose walls were made of glass. A house with glass walls. Okay? Relative adverbs. عندي when, where, why. Know that when can replace in on which. The year when he was born ولا in which he was born. The day when he was born. Et ainsi de suite. Donc الله يخليكم كما قلنا لكم relative defining relative clauses هما هادو حاولوا تقراوهم مزيان الله يرضي عليكم راه ساهلين. نمشيو non defining relative clauses اللي فيهم who object whom who possessive whose هذه for people. for things كنعملو which whose of which pareil par rapport le. دونك الله يرضي عليكم مثلا قلت who يعني هنا non defining relative clause. My neighbor who is very pessimistic says there will be no apples this year. ولا Peter who had been driving all day suggested stopping or to stop. And the suggested is a word coming with a verb ing. Suggested stopping at the next town. Et ainsi de suite شباب. فوالا غادي نخلي لكم ان شاء الله واحد ليكزارسيس اللي ها هو دا. سمحوا لي. فوالا دونك هنايا الله يرضي عليكم كاين بزاف ديال لي زيكزارسيس اون فوا تخدموهم. مثلا هنا عندي ا بي كناخذ من ا كلمه ومن بي كلمه باش كنكمل هنايا الجمل وتكملوا من راسكم سا مارش. هنايا دو كذلك غادي تحاول توضعوا to join okay two sentences. هنايا عاوتاني كذلك هنا تستعمل who ولا that ولا which. مثلا what is the name of the man يلا شنو نقولوا who that which. The man who lives next door or that lives next door. What is the name of the river which goes through the town. ما نعملوش who لحقاش the river object. The man subject. دونك هنا نعمل who. ردوا بالكم الله يرضي عليكم. دونك هنا كاين بزاف دي زيكزارسيس حاولوا تخدموهم وما تحاولوش تشوفوا التصحيح ça marche حتى تساليو التمرين. نحاولوا نشوفوا دابا reported speech. الله يرضي عليكم في reported speech كاين direct and indirect speech. We often have to give information about what people say or think. In order to do this, you can use direct or quoted speech. Enough direct or quoted speech saying exactly what someone he said is called direct speech. Okay? نعطيو واحد l'exemple. مثلا she said. Okay? Today's lesson is on presentations. Or today's lesson is on presentations she said. يمكن تكون في الأول ولا في التالي. دونك هذه direct speech. في indirect speech مثلا indirect speech someone called reported speech doesn't use quotation marks. Okay? ما نستعملوش quotation to enclose what person said and it doesn't have to be word for word. مثلا for example direct speech I am going to the cinema he said. Indirect speech he said he was going to the cinema. Tense change. As a rule when you report something someone has said you go back a tense. The tense on the left changes to the tense on the right. وشوفوا معايا هنايا هذا هو الديسكور ديريكت ديسكور انديريكت. هذا اللي داير لكم عليه فوالا هذا. alors مثلا قلت في لو كا ديال simple presence لو كا اسمحوا لي واحد الدقيقة فوالا the present simple she said it is cold. شوف she said it is cold هنا لا فراز في البريزون it is cold. شوف هنا في indirect speech فاش كنستعمل لا فراز في present كتولي في indirect simple past. لو طون المقابل ديالو she said it was cold. It was. Present continuous. She said I'm teaching English online. كتولي ال past continuous في indirect speech. She said she was teaching English online. Present perfect simple. نقولوا she said I have been on the web since 1999. كتولي present perfect past perfect. She said she had been on. Okay. Alors I كتولي she. Ça marche. بدينا بشي ماشي بهي. Present perfect continuous كتولي past perfect continuous. مثلا في present perfect continuous كنقول she said I've been teaching English for 7 years. Past perfect continuous كتولي she said she had been teaching English for 7 years. Past simple she said I taught online yesterday. Past perfect she said she had taught online yesterday. Past continuous she said I was teaching earlier. Past continuous كيولي past perfect continuous. Ça marche. إما المقابل. Past perfect كيولي past perfect no change ما كندوش تغيير. Past perfect continuous كيبقى past perfect continuous. هنا غير إلا كان present perfect كيولي past perfect. وإلا كان present perfect continuous كيولي past perfect continuous. Ça marche. Donc في indirect speech عندي لا بارتي ديال المودل verbs اوكي اللي كنحاولوا نردوا بالنا. For example, we take the example of Will. She said, I'll teach English online tomorrow. كتولي would. She said she would teach English online tomorrow. إذا مشينا ل can. I have can. She said, I can teach online. She said she could teach. Can, could. Will, would. Must كتولي had to. She said I must. She said she had to. Shall كتولي should. May. She may. May I open a new browser? يعني هو الانترنت explorer. Might كتولي might. She said she asks if she might open new. هنا هي السؤال. شوف هنا فاش كيكون لا question مثلا may I باش كنبدا may I open new browser كتولي she asked if she might open the browser. Okay. And also في indirect speech الله يرضي عليكم there is no changes في could, would, should, might and ought to. I might go to the cinema. He said that ولا he said he might go to the cinema كتبقى هي هذيك. alors فاش كيكونوا عندي هادو ديجا متصرفين في الباسي ما كنتصرفهمش عاوتاني تيبقاو هما. Okay. We can use the present tense in reported speech if you want to say that something is still true. My name yes has always been and will always be. Okay, Lynn. Direct speech. My name is Lynn, she said. She said her name was Lynn. Alors, my name is Lynn is present. Indirect, my name was Lynn ولا كيبقى هو هذاك. She said her name is Lynn ولا she said her name was Lynn. pareil. Alors, الله يرضي عليكم عندي هنا واحد l'expression. Okay, les expressions of time, expressions of times, if reported on a different way. مثلا this evening كتولي that evening. Today, yesterday. These days, those days. Now كتولي then. هذه في indirect speech. يعني فاش كتكون لا فراز عندي فيها this, today, these. Direct speech, when we transform the sentence into direct, هذاك لو terme this كيولي that. Today, yesterday, a week ago, a week before, here, there, next, the following, tomorrow, the next, ainsi de suite. مثلا for example at work how long have you worked here she asked me how long I had worked here هنا في la question كتشوفوا l'exemple exactement ça marche pronoun change for example هنا في le pronom I teach English online direct speech she said I teach English online reported speech she said she teaches English online ولا she said she taught teach كتولي taught okay she said she taught English online reported verbs and we use asked told said ça marche there are many other verbs can be used في هاد reported speech like accused denied explained implied invited يا سيدي مثلا هنا عندي he asked me to come to the party شوف he invited me to the party he begged me to come to the party okay begged c'est-à-dire to beg someone here supplier order okay commander advice conseiller ça marche et ainsi de suite شباب voilà اسمحوا لي تك تك now we move to the phrasal verbs alors phrasal verbs أنا حاولت نخليهم لكم هنايا في ان دوكيومون تحاولوا تركزوا في الفريز فيربز اللي نورمالمون خدمتوا عليهم في لو كور هنا ما شاء الله مثلا قلت agree with مثلا I feel terrible that I didn't agree with my stomach يعني ما توافقتش ça marche aim at to target the magazine is aimed at teenagers back away back down مثلا she refused to back down and was fired يعني retract or withdraw your position or process in an arguments back up make a copy of a computer okay bag out ball up okay et ainsi de suite هنا كاين plusieurs حاولوا تاخذوا vous cochez les plus importants اللي قريتهم بزاف وحاولوا تستعملوهم في لي فراز ديالكم sur internet راه كاين تبارك الله بزاف ديال الامثله وديال لي زيكزارسيس اللي يمكن لكم تستعملوهم donc voilà هادو parmi les parts of speech in grammar you should have followed with me be careful just focus just do your job follow okay